Hey guys, we're here back at one of the renovation properties that we were taking a look at earlier. This is one of the ones that's been progressing quite quickly. They started the project roughly, I think it's about 3.5 months ago, and we're now at the staging stage of the property, which kind of is a weird sentence to say. However, what it is the place is empty, and what we're going to be doing is putting furniture all throughout it. This furniture is going to be used to take professional photography for the advertising of the place, ready to be sold in the marketplace. So let's have a quick look at how they've been able to transform this place from start to finish and what it looks like right now. Right, so the entrance. We had a look at this entrance last time. We just got a little bit of workers gear here, but you can see that it's nice and opened. Where this area was here, they've now added a fireplace into it. So there'll be a little gas flame that shoots up from there. That'll heat the room up in winter, which is fantastic. And standing back, you can see how open plan they've turned this house into. All right, so what you're not aware of is underneath the flooring it was all wavy, and so there was a series of screeding and floor realignment that occurred, and then they had to put flooring over top of it, and now it is silky smooth as you walk across it. Right, into the master bedroom. Last time we were here, the bathroom wasn't finished. Now everything is completed, all except for that furniture. So let's have a quick look. All right. New fancy toilet, tiles completed, all the groutings completed, double basin. Oh, the toilet even opens as you enter the bathroom. Nice and high tech. 900 by 900, which is a standard shower size, but dual head shower, which is more in line with the modern arrangements that's happening today, which is great. Window to get some natural light into the room. Yeah, it looks fantastic. Off to the left, this hasn't changed much. This was your walk-in robe, and what's neat about this is they've worked together with a cabinetry place, and they've actually managed to get a pretty good price on pre-installed cabinetry fittings, just getting some measurements out. Shoe racks here, which angle backwards so that your shoes face forward, and you can pull them out and slide them in with little hooks here. So you see the finger going down the back there. Hooks for your hanging, and then of course heaps and heaps and heaps of cupboard space. Now, as we come into this area, this will be the dining room. So you can imagine there's going to be, the next time you see a video on this particular place, we'll have everything fully staged out. However, here, imagine you've got a dining table, 4 chairs around it. We've got our open plan kitchen, island bench right here, and now the cabinetry is in as well. And what you can see is they've added the stone splashbacks. All right. One of the things that was being debated for a long period of time was what to do with this particular space right here. And what was decided was to open it up entirely and create a brand new window to let more natural light in. Natural light is something that is a massive selling point for houses, right? So just think about that when you're doing your own renovations, or you're doing an investment property yourself where you might be doing a renovation. Think about getting as much natural light in as you possibly can. But the contrast of colors looks really good. right, not much has changed here. The second bedroom, the two original window frames, the windows replaced with something new, and just the cupboards. Nothing extraordinary. New flooring, new paint, nice new ceiling fan, lights on the roof. They have added a consistent theme with the roofing here, which is to kind of give it a little bit of like contrast with shadows. It's an architectural mindset. It's very attractive on, let's say, claddings of housing. So having shadow lines and shadow grooves inside the place gives an element of depth and value, perceived value. Right, last time I got this wrong. This was in fact a bedroom, a really small bedroom. And what they've actually done is they've raised the floor, putting a screed underneath, added the appropriate plumbing, got all of the plumbing lines coming underneath the house, so they've accessed through underneath the house, got all the plumbing lines up, and then converted this into a second bathroom. So this is a communal bathroom where you've got a 900 by 900 shower, a basin, another happy toilet that opens up when you turn up. But it also doubles as the laundry. So you've got a bench top here with a laundry sink to your right, and then you'll have all of the laundry equipment that will sit underneath here. As we continue down the house, you'll remember from last video at this point here where we are, right? So this is the boundary between where the kitchen is, just on the other side here. This whole space from right through to the left was completely open. It was just one big line that stretched all the way across. Now, it was just really kind of like a sitting room before. What they've done is they've opened up that hallway like you saw earlier, and then closed this off and converted it into a second master bedroom. Now, this bedroom is particularly large, right? And out the back here is now the official finished bathroom. We're gonna have that happy toilet again as soon as we step in. Oh, it doesn't want to open, but that's fine. So this particular space here was actually, oh, there it goes. This was actually the original laundry. So the ground that we're standing on right here was the original laundry that sat outside that open space that we were just looking into. Where the bathtub is right now was an outhouse, like literal definition of outhouse. You had to go outside, go down a set of stairs and enter through a door that was down over here. What they've done is they've raised that room all the way up, and then they've created a consistent flooring pattern over the top, screeded it, and then you can see that they've added the appropriate plumbing, which is a lot easier to do that they're actually raising the flooring so they can get underneath it. And they put the drainage straight into it, which is all above board. What you can see here is they've tried to make this the feature bathroom. So you've got shower on the right, shower on the left. It's an all-encompassing enclosed area. Bathtub is in there as well. It sits separately, all right? You do have to be mindful if you're doing something like this, as amazing as it looks, that water does not get stuck underneath the area of the bathtub there. So talk with plumbing and bathroom specialists, because you want to prevent any kind of mold growth that might occur by just like stagnant water in that particular area. But this is really just a his and her bathroom. So you know, his and her sink, his and her shower heads, and then an amazing large bath area. Built-in robe added in as well. And you may or may not remember, but in the last video, we mentioned that they were wondering what to do with this particular space, and I suggested that they turn this area here that we're now walking into a little study. So this won't fit a bed. This is probably 2 by 2, maybe 2 and a bit by 2 and a bit. It's quite small. However, what you've got is a massive window that takes up almost the entire wall length, giving lots of natural light. This is the view from outside, so obviously very close to the neighbor, but you can start to see some of the landscaping. What you do get as an advantage though, is because that natural light comes in, it helps a lot with maintaining focus. And so this is a bit of a quiet space. You can imagine that, say if you were a small family, you would have the parents down this end of the house and kids up the other end. So anything beyond the kitchen is parents, and anything before the kitchen is kids. Now, turning left into the last room of the house, what we see hasn't changed since the last time we were here. This area was a balcony, right? So from that large open area over here, what we saw was there was a door that was right here that opened to a wooden balcony here. They've added some structure elements underneath it, right? Gotten council approval to get it across the line, and then they've completely enclosed the outside of the house, right, and extending it across. That has helped with the raising of that floor underneath there for that bathroom. And then now they've turned this effectively into like a sitting area to enjoy the view outside. It could be if somebody wanted a second bedroom, but I think mostly they're thinking probably a second entertainment area. All the way down the other end of the house, right? That main room there is likely to be the television room and lounge room, and this room over here is going to be the second entertaining area. Imagine like potentially, I don't know, it could be a cinema room, looking at putting something on this wall here. Yeah, up to your imagination. The short of it is though that the guys have done an amazing job looking into how to change this place from its original state. I'll put a link in the video to the previous walkthrough, and keep an eye out in the next week or so for what the place looks like completely staged. I'll have to excuse the wind a little bit, but I wanted to show you that the effort that they've gone into from start to finish. They've repainted and fixed up the ceiling, they've repainted the cladding, they've added a little garden bed here that's going to be a little feature. They're going to add some plants and pots into that. They've landscaped the front yard as well. They've cleaned it up so it looks more open. And what they're in the middle of doing right now, before getting it to market, is they're actually painting over the concrete. So they've washed all of that off, and now it's being fully painted. This used to be a little carport, nothing particularly fancy. Now they've effectively extended it across from the front of the house all the way across, and they've added a electronic kind of lock-up garage door there. It's still technically a carport, but it gives you a level of security that you didn't have before, which is a really cool idea. All right, so let me walk you down the side of the house here. Part of the suggestions that we had at the start was to create kind of like a separate living space for anybody who is going to be residing in the back granny flat, which is part of the New South Wales state laws. So something you can walk down the side of unencumbered, really easy. And just quickly, before we go too much further, you notice that the house is on stumps, right? That allows the plumbers much easier access to get underneath the house and get the right plumbing in place to make those changes to like the bathroom that you would have seen before earlier in the video. If it's on slab, it's a lot harder. You have to kind of tear up the physical concrete and then or tiles if you have driveways and things like that, and get underneath and kind of do it from there. It's much more expensive. So slabbed houses are easier housing for renovation of bathrooms because it gives you a much greater accessibility to all the plumbing. Anyway, let's keep going out to the backyard. Right, so big difference from where we were before. This here, right? So remember how I was saying that the bathroom was raised? So this area here is where the bathtub is for that second main en-suited area. Right underneath was the original laundry. So you had to come out all the way over here, walk around, and then this was not undercover. So they've added this wall all the way in here, completely covered that up, and then created a little door to kind of close that off. And so now that's what that looks like from the outside. Now this was a jungle originally when the house was bought only about 3 or 4 months ago. We got some handyman and gardeners to come out, basically put a job request out on Fiverr or like Airtasker, for example, and looked for anybody who wanted to do a day's work, kind of pulling up, the weeds, getting rid of the trees and whatnot. We landscaped everything and converted it into a beautiful view from what it was before, which was a complete like overarching like jungle almost. Now the studio, which is where we're heading to now, is a 1-bedroom studio. I want to see what kind of progress we've had in here. Just going to flip the lights on. Just going to flip the lights on. Cracker. Right. So they've decided not to add a dividing wall in this particular space. Probably smart. Even though there's room to do it, you could have put a false wall in here, created a separate bedroom, and maybe even 2 bedrooms here, 1, 2, with kind of a line that comes across this space here. Then you would have your kitchen, a living area, or a dining area and a living area all in one. They've just decided to kind of keep it as one big open space, which gives the individual, whoever's renting it, an ability to do things how they want to do things. So last time we were here, the cabinetry wasn't in and the equipment wasn't here. So you can see that they've added in a fair amount of cabinetry. They've finished off the tiles as well. Sink's gone in, everything's looking nice and brand new. New windows. Remember that was a jungle out there before, so now that's opened everything up. More natural light to come in, which is the features that you're looking for as selling points. This granny flat here would either be used for, say, a established family with grandparents who might need a place to stay as they're just getting a little bit less mobile, so you can keep an eye on them if there's any kind of health risks that are occurring. Or alternatively, somebody who is looking to help with the cost of the mortgage. So they buy the place and they live in the main house, they rent out this area back here, and basically the rent that they would receive would be to help reduce the burden of the mortgage that's on the personal finances. The bathroom, very similar, a much simpler toilet in this particular house, simple mirror, and what they've done here is instead of enclosing it off as a 900 by 900 shower, This is one of the half walls here, and the ground, so that's the half wall there, and the ground slopes into the drain. So all of that is waterproofed, and as you would just have a shower, it just naturally kind of goes towards the drain areas there. What you will find though is even though it's raised, you can see a little lip down there, you're likely to get water in the main parts of the bathroom too. So that's just something to consider if you're doing a renovation like this here. All in all though, the guys have done a great job. The internals look good. Keeping a similar theme with the roof as well, trying to get those shadow lines. It's a bit hard to see in this particular light, but you can see that the lines track all the way across the house as the camera just readjusts. So yeah, looking fantastic. These guys have done a good job, and they should be really proud of the efforts that they've put forward. So I'm in the granny flat just after completing the walkthrough, and I just wanted to quickly run through some of the numbers with you all. The guys bought the place originally for 1.39 million Australian dollars, for any of the international viewers on this video. They're expecting to sell the place for 1.95. They're doing everything in their power, right? So they're doing everything in their power right now to make it as attractive as possible for the next potential buyer. So that's where the natural light with the open plan windows, the shadow lines and grooves throughout the place, the extra bathrooms, these are all features, as well as having a separate granny flat, which is a separate rentable space on the particular place. One of the major features about this place is the fact that if you're savvy, what you can do is you could purchase the place, rent, let's say, or live in the main area of the house, rent out one of the master rooms to family friends, or even just put it on the market and see what you get. So it's kind of like subletting that area out, and then you could rent this space out. So what you have is an ability to get two sources of supporting income for the mortgage. And these are attractive points for the place. So all in all, there's a lot going for this place for someone to purchase it, and you need to think about the customer or the person that you're looking to sell to, your target market really, in the design of the renovation. You know, if you were looking to target an investor, you might split this up entirely into 3 separate areas of rentable income. Of course, ensuring that it's suitable from council requirements. If you're looking for a family who may be looking to look after a grandparent, then it's open plan living, accessibility, you know, separate access, street parking, you know, just a number of things that gives the edge over what they might otherwise be looking at in the same kind of category. So overall, they bought for 1.39, expecting to sell at 1.95, and we'll keep you updated to what those numbers are. And they've put around $160,000 at current into the property last time I checked off with them, which was just a couple of weeks ago now. So that's a decent chunk of profit. So well done to these guys. This is currently 4 months worth of work. It's been a lot of work. They've moved very quickly on this place, and the reason why they've put a lot of pressure on the trades to move quickly is the market is declining around the Sydney area right now. So yes, it's a great time to be doing flip deals. Flip deals means you get in and you get out. A property market doesn't turn very quickly. So even though it's declining, it's not like it's dropping 10% in say 2 weeks. You know, so if it does drop say 5 or 6%, that's likely to happen over 6 to 8 months. So getting in, manufacturing value, buying something that is a problem and creating a solution, which is what they've done, is how you create value in the eyes of the purchaser, and that's how you make money on deals like this. So well done to them. Stay tuned. The next video you'll see here is with furniture all throughout, and it'll give you a much better idea of what it looks like.